Hey, dear listeners. Hello and welcome to our first look of Wargroove on the Nintendo Switch here over at youtube.com/thereformedgamers. For those of you that don't know, Wargroove is a game available for the Nintendo Switch, developed by the same developer who put out Stardew Valley, which is the Harvest Moon-esque type simulator game. I don't even know how you would describe it really. If you like farming, if you like doing all that, it's a great game to check out. I usually put 80 hours into that game. And now we're here to check out Wargroove for the Nintendo Switch. So hang back and enjoy. And so here we have the third mission of the game where you're traveling as Mercia, Emmerich, and Caesar all in your party, trying to basically defend your kingdom from this rival faction that's causing some problems here. And you're going to meet one of the evil commanders or opposing commanders. And that is one right there, who we come to find out is Ragna, who is the eccentric and very clumsy commander of the opposing armies. And that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about the game so far is just, I wasn't sure what to expect when it came to the characters, but the characters all have a great personality. I think they're all written pretty well. They're just fun characters, especially Ragna here. Ragna, and you'll see it when you get to the end of the mission, that she's just kind of goofy, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's funny. And so in this mission here, you're getting introduced to these buildings here that you can fortify and take over that allow you to generate income in the game that then allows you to buy other soldiers that you'll use later on in the mission. And we'll see that here in a second, but Emmerich is kind of laying that out and talking about movements and how that works. And to really describe Wargroove in terms of how it plays, is that if you're familiar with Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, it's going to play almost exactly the same way. And so if you've played those games before, you can jump into Wargroove pretty easily. Now, one of the things about Advance Wars and Wargroove, or I'm sorry, Advance Wars and Fire Emblem, is that they're known for their difficulty. Those games can get really difficult. And one of the things that I've actually appreciated about Wargroove is that for people like me who stress out way too much when you play a strategy game like this, they've enabled these sliders that allow you to adjust how much damage the enemies can do to you, how much... I think one of them manipulates the income and the resources and things like that, and there's another slider in options that you can manipulate. So you can really make the game as easy or as brutally difficult as you want. It's really up to you. And that's one of the things that I've enjoyed about games like Celeste. Celeste is another game that does the exact same thing, that allows you to make the game as easy as you want or as brutally difficult as you want. It's really up to you. And that's one of the things that's nice about Wargroove. And so as you see here, we're going to go through the different class of units we can take out. We're going to call in a pikeman, or I'm sorry, a knight swordsman. And these are just kind of the general units. Of course, your pikemen are going to be more destructive when it comes to buildings, and then your archers are going to be more effective at long range. So your units, again, this is going to be very much like Fire Emblem, where a specific unit is going to be useful for a specific situation. And this is where the nuance and the strategy of Wargroove really come into play. As you see, I'm going to take over this fort here and fortify it, and this is going to start giving me 100 gold every turn. And so you really have to essentially weigh the cost of your decisions, which is great for a strategy game. You never really want a game that's going to be too easy. You want there to be some kind of difficulty, but in my case, I'm not a huge fan of strategy games. But like I said, this one, there's enough there to keep me interested, and there's enough there to keep me playing, to check the game out and want to do more and really learn and figure out which unit best serves the situation at hand. And so, of course, you can see the different information parts here on the screen. It'll tell you what kind of different critical hits they do, or how they do critical hits, how much they can move, what their ranges are, the different capture parameters, and things like that. So like I said, you really get to take a look at your units before you pick one and then decide, okay, which one is going to work best for what's going on in the game currently. Or if you want to plan ahead, you can summon some other units. Just like right here, it's going to be kind of random, as is any battle. Stuff is going to happen that you don't see coming, like those units up there in the left corner coming in. And so, for the 3 missions that I've played of Wargroove so far, like I've said, I enjoy the game. I really, really do. And I like that there is some accessibility there that normally isn't there in other games, or at least in the early Fire Emblem games, and I think Advance Wars didn't really have a difficulty setting, if I recall correctly, but I could be getting that wrong. You can let me know in the comments. And so things like terrain and where you're standing or where you're hiding out all play a part in the battles. Just like the archers there, they're on a mountain there, so of course that's going to give them an advantage against the units that are on the ground. So like I said, it's really cool. It's really dynamic Wargroove this game is. And of course you can, end your turn if you're ready to go and things like that. So it's all turn-based. Now this is very slow-paced. That's one thing that I will say. But this just kind of comes with the territory with all strategy games. It's going to be a slow burn. It's going to take a while. And so if you're kind of impatient, if you're not really the kind of person that likes to play by turns or have a long bit of a battle sequence in a game, this one probably isn't for you. But that being said, if you are the more analytical type, you do like planning, you do like strategizing, this is right up your alley. It's right up there, like I've said. If you enjoy Fire Emblem, if you enjoyed Advance Wars, this is going to be right up your alley. Now something you're going to see coming up here is you're going to see me go and attack this fortress. Now when you attack the enemy fortresses, it's going to take a while if you don't have the right unit. That's why I'm using pikemen here, because they do a ton of damage. Just look at that. Half the health is gone already. And of course they didn't really do a whole lot of damage to me because of the slider I have enabled. That makes the game easier for me. And so when you take down an enemy fortress, you not only fortify it, but you also eliminate your opponent getting more resources. So now it's going to be harder for them to get more soldiers out onto the field or fortify different things. It's going to just eventually make it harder on your opponent. And so you want to try and get these as soon as you can. Otherwise, it's going to be it's going to be kind of an even battle. And since this is going to take a while to get the units that I want over there to finish the match, we're just going to jump ahead a little bit closer to the end of the mission so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. And so as you see here, I've gotten my forces pretty close to the enemy base here, and I'm going to go ahead and take it down and just do an all-out assault on the fortress. So I'm going to use my archers, I'm going to use my swordsmen, I'm going to use my pikemen. And if I remember correctly, I think this is where the enemy managed to pull in another unit last minute. Yeah, there it is. And so we'll take them down. But so like I said, it is a long, drawn-out match. I think this mission here took me roughly close to 20 minutes, I want to say. So I've cut down a lot of footage out of this here to speed it up a little bit and give you more of a bite-sized video to check the game out. So like I said, if you're not the kind of person that likes these long battle sequences or just strategizing and stuff, like I said, this game is not going to be for you. But at the same time, I think it's still worth checking out at least. I think the art is really good. I think the music is really good. The characters so far, I think, are pretty interesting, and I just love the overall art. The words are hard, right? I just love the overall art style of the game. And I think it's a really cool game. So like I said, this is Wargroove. It's out on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know. I don't believe it's on PC, but if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. And so here we have the end of the battle. And with that, we actually come to the end of the video, so to speak. So with that being said, dear listeners, are you playing Warframe? Let me know in the comments below. Let us know on Twitter. And hopefully you enjoyed this this first look here at Wargroove. If you did, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to us already, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And look forward to more of these coming out on our YouTube channel over the next coming weeks. So with that being said, hopefully this helped you kind of make up your mind about Wargroove, or maybe it kind of piqued your interest a little bit. As always, just let us know what you think about the game in the comments below. And until next time, GG and amen.